Sanibona lapha emakhaya Sukuma Ndoda sakhe lo la sihlangana khona ukuthi kwakhiwe amadoda kwakhiwe imindeni. Iniso lithi sizothi nje madoda asingabe sisahlala phansi ngoba uma sihleli phansi ziningi izinto ezenzakalayo nezilimalayo. Asisukume sibambe iqhaza. Namhlanje sivakashelwe umholi wethu national ongu deputy chairperson women's sector nationally kodwa ikakhulukazi ke into azengayo namhlanje uTakuwani Riime. Aw siyakwamukela baba. Ake uzethule nje bese uyasichazela nje ngoTakuwani Riime. Ngiyabonga.
No, ngiyabonga Bishop Mchunu nababukeli besukuma sakhe. Igama of course Matome Kganakga njengoshilo deputy chairperson ye-Kganakga men's sector ye-South African National AIDS Council. But ukukhuluma more around Takuwani Riime ivela from a vendor expression le ithi let us stand together. Now i-tagline yethu ihambisana nento ekhulumayo yesu Ndoda Sukuma sakhe because city institutionalizing, which is to organize a responsive men's movement. Now we break it down njengoba ngishilo ukuthi masithi institutionalize ukuthi first thing sifanele ukuthi sibe organized as amadoda. That's the starting point.
That's it.
Because if singa organize everything else yenza phambili, it's truly pointless because siba ama reactionary. Si activate kuma sokuchitheka igazi phansi, but must organized, we're able to plan ahead and have clear targets and goals that we must reach. And then Masiti, we are institutionalizing a responsive. It means finally dealing with issues that affect our communities. So we must be responsive. It can't be that la sihlala khona kuna issues estradini, but we want to deal with national complicated issues. Yazi South Africa sinjana.
Yes.
Noma semathavenini thole sikhuluma ngabo Marxist, Leninist, sikhuluma ngeconstitution, but ngaphansi isweji ayisebenzi asikhulumi ngalokho. So must be a responsive men's movement ukudila nama issues that are in front of us in our community.
So that means that we are saying, because even us as Sukuma Ndoda sakhe, we are part of Takuwani Riime. We are saying, let's now stop going around, meeting in taverns, meeting in wherever, and discuss something that is an abstract. But let's deal with the issues that are happening in our areas. Endaweni zangakithi nje le nkinga ekhona asibhekane nazo. Amadoda kuyinkinga, yazi mphatha ushinto ebalekile. Amadoda kuyinkinga. Amadoda ngasho Marxist, asho Lenin, asho amadoda amaningi aseza sishiya emhlabeni ebabeka ukuthi bathi kodwa in addressing inkinga kodwa uthola ukuthi ngakwakhe nje khona inkinga ekhona akakaze yena asho utho ukuthi addresseke le nkinga. That's what we are doing as the Takuwani Riime.
No, absolutely. And mainjalo iba responsive because iba practical. Because most of the time South Africa is faced with issues are very complex. If ungabheka from the top, whether go health, we are leading kwindawo zokufana nabo HIV, even COVID Africa, with more than 90,000 deaths. We are by far the leading. TB, we've always been in the top 30, and many other health problems in Dabazama, GBV, violence, inequality, you can mention them. But when you start dealing with them, njengoba sikhuluma ngakhona, zicala ukuba practical to resolve them. Because now ukhuluma ngomuntu onobuso onegama lomazi ukuthi uhlala kuphi nebehavior yakhe. So iba very practical. Unlike Masiti, we've got 75% youth unemployment. It's a big thing to deal with. But mawuthi estradini sakho kunaba abasha abayi6 bangasebenzi, then iba practical.
Kushithi thina njengeTakuwani Riime madoda sithi izibalo lezi abazibekayo, they are telling us on radios, on television, yes, let's accept them, but make sure that in your area you know people are suffering in that way, so that when an opportunity comes, kuvela nje ithuba, you will be able to say, ukheswa. You will be able to say, umlife uyayidinga lento because uyabazi banga kwakho noma bangakini ukuze lento izoba practical.
Hey, absolutely. Masithi, let's end GBV. Now in the strategic question GBV 2030. It's very difficult to end it at national. But estrateni sakho kuba lula ukuthi nizwane ukuthi kule strat, just this street, there is no woman who's going to be raped. There's no woman who's going to be abused. In this house, there's no woman who's going to be assaulted. So iba very practical, even though we monitor nama stats, because mayenzekile and made ukuthi national local reporter ukuthi so many women were killed this month, so many women report sexual assault. Iba lula ukuthi kule strata nama data. You must have the data of the street to say in that household inkinga ilaphaya, so that you can intervene. But part of doing that is when you are an organized formation, that's when you're able to address it, because it also becomes practical, but I be personal. It's not like uza bishop who intervene with issues salomuzi, but it's a structure of the street.
Area.
And it's Pumalapo. If you think about how we won in Dabazi Freedom, one of the key pillars was Lama self-defense, Lama street committees.
That's it.
You know, that was the pillar of fighting such big complex issues, but we simplified it.
Kusho ukuthi ngenye indlela into esishoyo nje ngokukulalela kwami, uTakuwani Riime ukhuthaza thina esingamadoda endaweni esekuzona ukuthi uma kunesikhalo national asibheke la sikhona ukuthi sikhona leso sikhalo bese sidilishane naso ngqo, ngoba into ekhona lana ilento yokuthi sonke sikhale na usuke lapho ngakini uyokhala ehholo elithize, lapho uma ukhala ehholo ubuya futhi ngakini awenzi mehluko, kodwa sithi thina let's stand together and make sure that the things happen where we are. Sihamba manje sebreakini, uzobuya masibuya kukho into ozoyilalela zoyisho ukuthi njengoba bekade behlangana namadoda all over South Africa baze benza nokuthi kube khona iparlament lamadoda, kambe lokhu iziphi inkinga azitholile khona, inkinga ezokuthinta, inkinga ezosiza, kufanele sisizane nawe kuleso start sangakini ukuthi ukwazi ukusilekelela ukuthi abantu basizakale. Ake sahambe siye ekhefini. Sukuma Ndoda sakhe. Sasiphinde sabuya futhi lapha emakhaya sikanye nani sihamba nodokotela uMatome Kganakga. Akasho ukuthi udokotela kodwa udokotela ngempela. Njengoba sinaye la kule ndawo sikhuluma nje ngento eyodwa, iorganization nathi esiyingxenye yawo njengoba Sukuma Ndoda sakhe esithi Takuwani Riime, let's stand together. Hey, ugcine ngento emnandi kabi ukuthi ake sibe nje abantu abapractical endaweni esikuzona. Uma uzwe inkinga national ku television noma radioweni, zibuze ukuthi kule starate sangakini khona yini, mangabe ubona ayikho ubheke kwi area yangakini siyisithi thina iVD yangakini ukuthi khona yini, mawubona ayikho ewadini yangakini. Lokho kuzosiza ukuthi sikwazi ukulwa nalezi zimpi sizehlule. Kodwa ke bengithe mayebuya nje uzosazisa ngeinkinga esibhekana nazo as an organization uma sifisa lezi izinto ezinhle zenzeke endaweni esikuzo. Dokotela,
no, njengaba besikhulumile break down the sentence ethi institutionalizing a responsive mass movement, sadila le institutionalizing yoku-organizer, sadila ngale responsive lesikhulume manje i-movement iza lapho, because mawuthi you're a movement, yazi mawubheke imfula i-river awustaki, no matter what, it's always flowing. Noma kunelitshe ithola indlela yokujika iform a new path. So masithi si movement uthi ungastaki ngibe ngesilungu 3 words nje. Isilungu bathi do what you can with what you have where you are. Because yazi
yenza ongakwenza ngalokho onakho lapho ukhona.
Then we movement because it means awustaki. Into esidileka kakhulu South Africans into sithi paralysis and ibuyela back to lento esiyikhuluma because if into I too big to solve nivele ngigcina ndi paralyzed ningazi ukuthi ngiqale kuphi. But manibuyela kuba practically khona lenye model bathi ABCD, asset based community development, which means nibheka into nazo emphakathini and you use those things, and there's a lot of assets, whether isonto, whether a clinic, whether a traditional leader, a traditional healer, a nurse, a sports person, an artist in your community. You look at those assets, a building, and use those expertise that exist a local. Ningameli nje politician, iskola la asebenzi, no smell minister of education. Khona uthisha next door that you can call to say, Tisha, help us to sort out the issue yasesikolweni. So when you say indaba yokuba practical, we really emphasizing it at that level. We are always moving and producing results, so that masizohlangana as a more complicated structure. Sonke sihlangana sesinama solutions, nama results and actions that we have processed on the ground. Ukuthi masihlangana ke at higher structures sesiyabonisana nje uthi na lenkinga sayisolva kanje nabanye bathi no thina sistake lapho sizothatha the way ni solve ngakhona use the same model so that asihlangani sonke manje sistuck sonke. And njengoba ukhulumile ukuthi mawucala uba high level kungena indaba zanje zama transport and umuntu yazi something that is disturb kakhulu especially kumadoda uthola ukuthi sibiza meeting amadoda bathi no before sifika lapha sifuna ukwazi ukuthi ukhona ukudla na catering yazi South Africa sinja azoba khona ama t-shirts I transport yona so mayiqala lapho ukuthi because mawuyenza into la uhlala khona it doesn't require lezi zinto as complicated because ukuhamba nje kusuka kule indlu nihlangane kule hall and nibamba meeting 2 hours ubuye udle endlini yakho ugcoke leskipa le uphume ngaso endlini so ibulala lento yokuthi manje I-development ibe expensive. Because South Africa development is very expensive because manje isingena kule system ukuthi amadoda afana transportiwe adliswe anikezwe ama t-shirts anikezwe ama program aprintiwe, and those are the things that delay us if asikho organized on the ground because iba ama talk shop.
Kusho ukuthi ngiyindlela sithi nje lapha ekhaya ake senze into ekahle yokuyibamba lento siyibambe phansi la sihlala khona ukuze khona ukusebenza kwethu kuzobonakala kungabe yinto yemihlangano yendawo ebanzi la kuyodingeka khona ukuthi sihambe sesihanjisiwe ngetransport sesilungiselela ukudla sanikezwa ngazi nezikipa uthola ukuthi kodwa kamakhelwane kusadlwengulwa umuntu wesifazane kutholakala ukuthi kodwa futhi kusabula ngeke ngabona kade ngiseThekwini dokotela within an area njena 2 kilometers within a week or two siye khona siya endaweni yaseNanda safika sathola ukuthi kukhona ofike wanqunywa owesifazane before Christmas wasikwa indamo washona indawo ehambekayo kukhona isalwazi sidlwenguliwe sadlwengula sathi siyobika epolice station safela khona indawo nje ehambekayo ongahamba nangenyawo ebesakhe ukuthi sowane wonke ngaphambidlana kukhona omunye oficile isoka lavelela bulalo wesifazane lamdabula isisu lamaphezulu kwakhe kuthiwa beliphethe ibhakede angithi uyabona ukuthi lento esishoyo ukuthi manje asibambe la sikhona kuleyo area nyana nje i-area nyana encane walkable okwazi ukuhamba kuyona ongenza umehluko kuyona labafana kuthiwa bayabonakala bayehla bayinyuka kodwa into engifisa ukuthi ngiyichaze ilena ethi uyabona lezo zinombolo zabantu izona lezi sezihlangane nezinye ezimenyezelwa kumabona kude ubese uthi wena awubugebengu bungaka kanti uma bobambela ngakini bozothi mabubamba la ngakini bobambeke qho iyasiza-ke le ndlela enikhuluma ngayo edokotela ukuthi cha sithi thina sibanjwe lapha phansi.
Igcina i-practical because manje masikhuluma ukusolve i-culture ye-violence. Zonke lento ozikhulumile ayikho nase-A1 sithi it's in isolation ukuthi iyenzeke nje yavele yenzeka singayazi ukuthi iqale kuphi, because i-violence yonke nje mayiphelele it's systemic. Ungacabanga i-shape yokufana ne-pyramid, yabona ama-pyramid ase-Egypt. By the time ukushona umuntu i-tip ye-pyramid is the top of the pyramid, but ngeke ube nayo le top ye-pyramid unganayo the base. And the base of the pyramid mawulokhu ubeke iyitina lapho khona uzoba ne-tip yokushona umuntu. Manje that base yiyo lesikhuluma ngayo, because i-violence iqala kuphi? Any form of violence, inkulumo ne-attitudes, which means into esisicabangayo in our brains.
Kusho ukuthi sithi njena sesiye ekhefeni ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi njengoba seyibeka kanjena nje kukhona la iyakhona ukuthi lento yodlame iqala entweni encane nje, inkulumo imicabango. Ake sihambe siye ekhefeni bese siyabuya sesilalela nesombuluko Sukuma Ndoda sakhe. Sesiphinde saba kanye nani futhi kulesi sikhathi la sihleli khona no Dr. Matome owusekela sihlalo weSanakne Men Sector, abuye futhi ahole uTakuwani Riime. Kodwa nyobe khona yela uzokhuluma ngoTakuwani Riime, let's stand together. Kukhona into ayishilo engifuna ukuyigcizelela ngaphambi ngimnikeze ukuthi uthe yenzo ongakwenza ngalamandla onawo kule ndawo ohlala kuyo. Kusho ukuthi ngenye indlela musu ukujaha izinto ezale kude kunawe mangase uqale la ukhona wenza ongakwenza futhi akusho ukuthi yenza into eyahlukile, yenza ongakwenza leyo contribution yakho ingenza umehluko iqede ubunzima obukhona. Ngifuna ukuthi ngimdedeleke manje aqale la egcine khona ngoba ngizwile la egcina khona ukuthi lento iqala kancane ngike ngasho ngifica abanye baku Newcastle Community Radio ngithi kubona iqiniso lithi lezi zinto singazidakhela singaphuma ecaleni kwazo uma ngabe ubona ukuthi le ntombazane ngoba anishadile nayo kodwa njalo manike nahlangana niyaxabana niyaphikisana nenzana yonke into ungaze uziholele ophathe kungcono yenza into elula nje ukuthi ingathi le relationship ayivumi kahle ngcono ngiwithdrawe ukuze khona ngizoyenza lento okazi ibe safe nami ngibe safe ukuthi kuyilonto ethi kuqala kancane bese kuze kuyofika entweni encane beyingasolveka ukubulawa komuntu. Dokotela
ene involve thina sonke manje because by the time lo muntu abulala umuntu at the base of the pyramid akusuye yedwa yithi lasiphuza naye sikhonza naye or sidlala naye ibhola, because masikhuluma ngalento ye problematic language yazi amadoda into esikhuluma amasodwa sihlele sodwa nje sisikhuluma ngabafazi ukuthi mhlambe even umfazi maka rape wesisihleke ukuthi hayi naye bakagcoka kanjani senza ama jokes nge rape. Just generally into esingathi problematic language. South Africa is very rife. If ungaza into ezisikhulumayo nje as amadoda ngaba shocked nasuma WhatsApp group wethu nje and then nomcabango nje the kind of attitudes we have in our brains ukuthi abafazi babelonga ekitchenini, those women who are rising the way sikhuluma ngabo ukuthi bafana baphelele ba check ukuthi bangayiphezulu kakhulu, so it builds those attitudes. Nokuthi mhlambe abafazi babuke some people either sex objects or abantu bo labor nje bakwenza umsebenzi but not fully embracing humanity yabo, and those things although umuntu ngeke ayifile because akekho rumini, it starts building those attitudes kithi madoda. So while not all of us will graduate from the base to the next level of the pyramid, but omunye wethu uzoba another thing ukuthi graduate to the next level. Naye akaqala ngokubulala. Uqala nje into ezingathi degradation because le sikhuluma ngayo is to normalize. So we've normalized violence through inkulumo zethu another way sicabanga khona. Now there will be those who begin to act out. Manje baqala ukuharasa abantu mhlambe they wakhuluma ngakhona nabantu ibe a form of verbal abuse or lento ukuthi manje makashela ubamba intombazana ngesandla or umsale emuva and begin to devalue that person's isithunzi sakhe. And then from those who now start acting out nabo abanye bazograduate ukuthi manje baqala ukuthatha amalungelo lesithi loss of autonomy where manje usisa akasana choice uyenza izinto ngenkani manje. So serious threats or sexual cohesion siyenza kakhulu le South Africa. Example ukuthi manje amantombazana othola ukuthi siyaphuzisa ukuthi badakwe so that they don't make an informed choice, or sometimes into zemsebenzi ukuthi umuntu maka desperate umtshela ukuthi no ngizokunikeza lo msebenzi but nawe unganginikeza something. Uyabona ukuthi uthatha manje i-decision yakhe ukuthi asikhethele indaba za consent and other forms of taking somebody's rights. And also ufika lapho now uyabona ukuthi you are very close to being a rapist or a murderer. So by the time you've now so jwayele ukuthatha amalungelo abantu kuba lula manje ukuthi uthathe impilo yakhe manje or uthathe by force you feel ukuthi body belongs to you. So you can see ukuthi less graduation ends systematically. So ukuthi siqedele phezulu, yes singatrasela amaphoyisa ukuthi babamba abantu benza ama investigation, criminal justice systems, pass ama bill even recently to strengthen that sector, but until thina madoda enzansi la sikhuluma khona umuntu makakhuluma something sithi no man siyahleka yes ama jokes but hey Maqengwane lento iqedwe ukukhuluma man no man masidiscuss kancane. Usho kanjani ukuthi mayintombazana igcoke kanje ifuna ukurejwa masiyikhulume leyo.
Kusho ukuthi ngenye indlela usekela sihlalo uthi asingabi abantu aba-entertainer izinto ezingagcina zifake umphakathi endaweni errong, kodwa asibe abantu abayiqondayo into ngoba sesiyasazi isimo esikhona la eNingizimu Afrika. Uma ngabe umuntu enza ama-jokes ngokuthi hayi iwona amantombazane agqoka izinto ezimfishane, ovela ubone nje wena ngoba uhlakaniphile ukuthi lento izoya kude, vele uyivale lapho ukuthi no akusinikeza igunya lokumhlukumeza umuntu mangabe egqoke lonto azikhethela ukuthi ngabe uyigqokile. Isinto lezi esithi njenge Takuwani Riime kufanele sime ndawonye kuzo ekwenzeni ukuthi ukuhlukumezeka kwabantu kungabe kusaba insakavukela umchilo wesidwaba kodwa akume engxenyeni. Oh yeah, Ndoda.
No, absolutely. And fortunately, because sibona ukuthi ku important ukuthi lento ibe national as a program, sas organizer under immense parliament as amadoda ukuthi singashiyi umuntu emuva, because ngeTakuwani Riime sithi let us stand together, which means sisonke kulento. So kuma men's parliament ke sayiqala phezulu yona sathola mandate ngo-2018 saye Cape Town eParliament sicala ngama-province ukuthola le mandate. Wonke ama-province ayi-9 wahlala ngo-October November 2018 men's parliament. Ama-speaker yiwo asilidayo i-program ye-sectoral parliaments nama-premier ama-office wabo sabiza ukuthi basilide at that level. After getting a mandate sahlangana e-national sazwana ukuthi e-national as amadoda South Africa so hlangana once every 2 years. So sahlangana 2018 siphinde sihlangana 2020 last year sahlangana futhi ukuthi in these 2 years sifanele sisinikeze as amadoda a plan of action, a program of action as amadoda South Africa lesizoyi salemuva ukuthi this is what we must achieve.
Kusho ukuthi ngenye indlela lento sesifakile manje na nationally, provincially,
yes,
district wise, yeah, and nasema wadini naphansi ukuthi ake sime ndawonye. Awuyazi indlela lento mhlambe ya vele ngikunikeza ithuba ngelincane uvalelise kubabukeli Dokotela.
So ngokuvalisa ngithi njengoba si-organize sithola i-mandate ngo-2020 ukuthi siye kuma-district sabuya futhi sathola i-mandate ngo-2018 bathi siye kuma-district ngo-2020 national basinikeza i-mandate ukuthi siye kuma-local and then siphinde siye kumakhosi. Fortunately amakhosi we launched ngo-September, saphinda salauncha i-national ngo-September, salauncha ama-province KZN silaunchile nge-18 zikaNovember yakhumbula. So yona siyilauncha ukuthi wonke ama-883 traditional councils nawo abe launched. So sibiza wonke amakhosi ukuthi basihole leaders kulama traditional men's parliament, sibiza wonke ama-ward councillor, wonke ama-mayor, especially siphuma kule local government. So labangena manje they must lead us, including ama-premiers ku-provincial and of course i-presidency si-leader u-deputy president, and then ama-speaker ke asibize ukuyo-preside over those meetings so that siyahlangana. Njengoba ngishilo ukuthi e-national sihlangana once every 2 years, ku-province sihlangana once a year, all the 9 provinces, kuma-district ngo-April nango-October siyahlangana, and then kuma-local sihlangana ngayi-4 quarterly, so ngo-March, June, September, ngo-December siyahlangana ku-local, and then la enzansi every month in every ward i-councillor mayisibize as amadoda, every month i-traditional leader kuma-TC mayisibize, and then thina estradeni ke i-everyday job.
Kusho ukuthi sithi nje siyabonga kakhulu balaleli, nimzwile udokotela, siyabonga kakhulu udokotela ubukhona bakho. Ngiyakuzwa ukuthi uthi asisukume sake, let's stand together. Sukuma Ndoda sake. Siyabonga balaleli, sonibona ngeviki elilandelayo. Bye bye.